Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Pete Gray here with Rock God Rick Maxa, right here in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup, overlooking the Searcher at Fisherman's Landing. I should say the shiny Searcher, the newly painted Searcher at Fisherman's Landing. And we have the crew here. They're here. Art Taylor, Mike Todter, Josh Evans here, talking fishing aboard the Searcher and having a lot of fun talking all kinds of stuff, getting some great chef techniques from Josh and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's been a blast, man. We're having a lot of fun. Been a very busy morning. Lots of phone calls, but man, we have another full hour for you. If you want to get through, still plenty of time and an open phone line. We did have one open during the break. You could get through right now at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090 is the number on the phones, or you can send us a text. Again, texting the show. It's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app, a free download, and an opportunity to win a great prize. At the end of the show today, one lucky caller or texter is going to be eligible to win a $125 reel blueprint and service certificate from Cal's Custom Built Reels. Really stoked to give one lucky angler a full tricked out service from Cal and Eric up there at Cal's. And that winner, again, is going to be decided from the prize coin. We're going to flip that coin at the end of the show. That's going to designate whether the winner comes from the caller side or the texter side. Again, text the show via the app. Make sure you include your contact info, or just give us a call, 213-432-1090. Hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting. Today, our FishDope.com report is sponsored by Norris Lithium Batteries. Hey, they're here in Southern California, designed specifically for marine use. Norris Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid connections, longevity, and reliability. The Norris Guardian Advanced Battery Management System allows for you to monitor the health and charging status by using an app on your phone. Norris also makes a complete line of kayak and electric reel batteries. Make an investment in the best for your boat with Norris Lithium. Check NorrisLithium.com or go see the Trolling Motor Doctor or Anglers Marine for your Norris Lithium batteries. We're going to start off our catch report with our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge is on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Ricky, Pete, Art, Mike, Josh. Great show. This morning, I was fun listening to all them hot tips. So
Yeah.
So I got to tell you guys, for the first week of the new year, we've seen it all in terms of weather, wind, rain, that huge swell, some freezing cold temperatures. I looked out the window this morning right there at daylight, and I was absolutely shocked looking at the roofs next door. Solid frost. Solid frost. Yeah. Well,
it's cold.
I don't know about you guys. I like summertime better.
Yeah. Our frigid Southern California winters, right?
It is, but hey, what are you going to do? But, just a heads up, guys, kind of to add insult to injury here, we got a big wind coming tonight and tomorrow. This is the real deal. This one looks like it's going to do what they're saying it's going to do, which is, they already got gale warnings up for the whole area, 25 to 35 with gusts to 40 for later on tonight and tomorrow. This is not a good night for going to Catalina to go hooping.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. But, and in terms of fish reports, not too much this week just because of the conditions. We had that nice flash of those good gray bonitas there for a little bit there, right there outside of Dana Point, and down a little bit and up a little bit. But with the conditions, it's been tough on those guys. They might be around, but maybe nobody's been looking. And then bass fishing up in Santa Monica Bay and the structure spots there. And same with the Huntington Beach sector, the deeper structure spots. That sand bass fishing, a few mixed calicos in there. It's been really good. Redhead and a squid is the answer for terminal gear, and it's simple and easy, and just fish it low and slow on heavier gear. And it's been really good fishing. Even with this tough weather, the water temps, looking at the buoys up and down the coast, it's all 62 and even a little bit of 63 here and there. So it's amazing for this time of year. No island reports at all this week. Nothing meaningful since just after Christmas, and it was kind of interesting there for a little bit. But with the warmer water we've got so far this winter, and probably not going to change too much with the El Nino developing the way it looks like it is, I think we're going to get some really good signal, early season signal on the yellows and the sea bass and the halibut. That halibut fishing before the weather was stupendous, and a couple good hits on some sea bass here and there, and maybe those yellows will kind of bounce back a little bit from last year. It was not our best year last year for sure. So, and just as a heads up, if conditions offshore stay funky and grumpy like it looks like they might, next week report is going to be something different. We're going to talk about, and this is just if we don't have other good stuff, but sometimes when you just got to go fishing, you know, you can go out and anchor your boat in some of these little spots still inside the harbor and have a blast catching bass and all kinds of perch and sargo and all that on light tackle. But the best bait to use is mussel. So we're going to talk about how to shuck a mussel for you guys that don't know.
All right, good stuff.
I was instructed years ago by one of my mentors on how to shuck a mussel. He was stunned that I didn't know how to do it. And once you do it, it's easy. So anyway, we might have to talk about that if we don't got some more exotic stuff to talk about. So that's this week's report. Make sure you guys got a fishing license that's valid. Make sure you don't go cod fishing if you try to get out in between this weather here. Cods are closed, and got to have those new licenses, and that's this week's report.
Yeah, and fishdope.com has your information, weather, temperature charts, everything is there at fishdope.com. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space, Hookup Now, your $30 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Pete, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by that big Chevron station. And the phone number is area code 714-840-4262. The website's Pacific Edge Tackle next week. Sorry about that, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, sounds good, Mark. Appreciate that very much. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
So that means there's a way to fish a mussel other than just smashing it with a big rock and just putting the goop on the hook and firing it out there?
I guess so.
All right.
We'll find out next Saturday.
Next week.
Tune in next Saturday.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
For fishing sheephead, that's how you do it. But we're going to talk about a more sophisticated method.
All right. I'm looking forward to it, man. I've fished a lot of mussels on the rocks when I was a kid, and it was smash and rock, and that was all I knew. That was all I knew to it. Hey, appreciate it, Mark.
Okay.
Well,
Stay tuned. We'll see you.
While we're waiting to continue with our catch report, I had a great text come through. Says this is from John in San Diego, and the question says, my question is for Mike and Art. With the potential of the El Nino effect and the already warm water that we're seeing up and down the coast of 63 degree plus, what are your guys' opinion on what our early season fishing might entail? That's all from John in San Diego.
Early season, my guess would be, the same sort of bluefin fishing we've been having past however many years it is now.
Yeah.
That's,
It's still here.
Yeah, so.
Still close.
I think you can expect more of the same.
Yeah, and the water's definitely warmer than it has been. The El Nino thing is a real deal, right?
Yeah, just at wintertime. Warmer water, so see how long that lasts. But I think it'll be more of the same as far as early season goes.
We like that. It's a good thing, right, Art?
Yeah, bluefin is still around. Guys on the trip leaving December 26th had some pretty spectacular bluefin tuna fishing just right in our backyard again. So it's a local stock of fish, so you can plan on it. It's going to be around somewhere, and with the technology that we have now, water charts, and guys are going to be starting fishing in March.
Yes.
So there's going to be plenty of trips and plenty of info on where to go and where not to go, and so it's going to be more of the same.
Some of those after Christmas 5 days this year had some big hits. Anytime guys are catching tuna, I mean, those, again, 10 years ago, like those were rock cod trips, and then if you caught some yellows, you were stoked, and then having nice hits of bluefin were amazing,
and yellowfin too.
But that's what I was just gonna say. Like those guys were having limit style fishing on really nice grade yellowfin. Also, those were crazy trips that happened this past round.
Yeah, it was good fishing. It was right around that 29 latitude, 116 cross there above, northwest of Cedrus. And, it's all about conditions. It's all about water temperature and food source. So, it just, it's taken a little bit longer for the water temperature to change. We've had some wind and a couple fronts, but we haven't had, a big string of northwest wind that's going to roll that water over and make it colder,
Right.
So the water stayed warm, conditions stayed, to the fish's liking, and they were around. So, yeah.
That's cool.
And it's all that yellowfin tuna that was up here. So
it's gonna move,
as the water
some nicer
cooled
water
off here, and they just hung with the warmer water, and there was some great fishing
for sure. Hey, a nice text from Kurt in Ontario. Must be a chef. He says, anyone curious, you can make clarified butter at home. Simply boil off the milk solids from a stick of butter and skim them away after they separate. It floats right off the top. Evidence suggests that it's healthier than many oils, has close to a 500-degree smoke point, plenty of tutorials on YouTube, and it's killer with any fish. You agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
Easy to make, huh?
Yeah. I know. I was making.
Easier to make.
I was making gallons at a time, so.
Yeah. So easier just to buy the ghee.
No. You can make. It's all you have to do is the skimming part.
The skimming part.
Yeah, skimming part's easy.
Yeah. All right. That's good stuff.
Hey,
right.
One more quick text, and this was in reference.
Kurt, by the way.
Yeah, this was in reference to the whales we were talking about. There's another nature question for the boys. Are the killer whales that we see in Southern California and have been seen recently residents to SoCal, or are they migratory pod, or are we not sure? That's from Todd in San Diego.
It's migratory. It's the ETP, Eastern Tropical Pacific orcas, killer whales that migrate, up and down the Pacific coast. So it's they're migratory.
And Sula, Sula defined it as there's a couple different groups actually that have different.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
there's different families down south, but they're called
groups.
They're They're not a wild breed, but they're.
I'm not sure, but it's a group of killer whales that you see up and down the coast, from San Francisco to Baja, and
I think they're called transients, I believe.
Transients. That's a good. Yep.
Yeah, transit. But do you see them on your whale trips occasionally?
Occasionally, yeah.
San Pablo Bay for the most part.
Once a year, maybe. If we have every 4 or 5 trips, we'll see them somewhere.
I've seen them out of San Pablo a couple times.
So the ones we see when we're up in Alaska is a totally different.
That's a different group.
They're stationary.
Those are resident up there.
They stay up there.
Yeah.
There's lots of food up there.
Are there are they 100% opportunistic when it comes to feed, or are there mammal eaters and fish eaters, or do they, like you see them mess with dolphins or take other whales, and then other ones, you see them take the fish? Like, do we know anything about that, or do they just opportunistic? They get whatever they come upon.
That's for the transient or the Eastern Tropical Pacific group. It's opportunistic, and that Alaska, they're fish eaters. Yeah.
That fin whale that washed up on the beach in Mission Bay, in the paper this morning, they said that it had evidence of orca scarring on its fins, on its tail fins. So could have been a prey.
Could have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Doug, Carl Schmidt, and I, a bunch of years ago, got to watch a pod of killer whales kill a fin whale at the Coronado Islands, and it was wild cool to see, nature type thing, but it wasn't what they didn't rip it apart. They just they drowned it, and much like the one in that washed up on the beach here, there was no they didn't bite giant holes in it or anything like that. Like there was a bunch of young calves in the group too, and Art and Celia had us send the footage to the naturalist people that were on the boat, and the thought was that they were just the young were teaching the other ones how to take whales down and things like that. But there was no like giant holes bitten out of the things. They pushed the thing into shallow water, and you think killer whales taking something out that they're going to rip it to pieces. It was nothing like that at all. There's no sign, but we watched it happen.
They're said to be the only species like man that like to kill for fun.
Yeah, they're wild.
So. That's what
they're badass.
Yeah. So one line open if you want to get through, 213-432-1090. Great time to get through on the phones. I have another great text here from Brett, and he says here, my favorite boat and crew. I have fish stories of a lifetime on the Searcher. I caught 2 bluefin at the same time in one cast. First was a 60-pounder, and the second was a 105-pounder. Super long fight with the right setup. Finally gaffed a 60-pounder, and Mike noticed the line was wrapped around its head and felt another fish on the line. One of the crew members held the line barehanded while Dr. Mike did surgery to get the line free. They told me to get ready and finish fighting the next fish. About 20 minutes later, I landed a 105-pound bluefin.
Get out of here.
Also on the same trip night fishing, I outlasted everybody on the boat one night. Captain Mike came down and started fishing. It was about 3 a.m. He loves fishing. You remember that incident?
I do. It's crazy.
That is a crazy one.
Yeah.
So what happened? So the 60-pounder got wrapped in the line?
Yeah, he had his lure in the right spot, I guess. Yeah, he got the
he wasn't even hooking them.
No, if you're working your lure through the fish, it got wrapped around it. You got wrapped around his if you're working your lure up and down through the.
Oh, I see. It just got kind of almost like a lasso.
Yeah, like it. I don't know when or how it happened, but it came up and it was wrapped around its head and through its gill plate, so that one came up. And then we, I don't remember how we got it off the fish or whatever.
That's so rad.
Yeah, what a crazy story.
And they weren't, you couldn't see the other fish. It was another.
You didn't know it was a 100-pounder.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was a long ways down still.
Yeah, it was. It was like in the middle of his line.
Wow.
That's cool.
What a crazy story.
I don't know if I got.
You ever seen anything like that, Art? In all the years you've been on the water?
Not 2 at a time on that great a fish. I mean, we've seen 2 at a time on smaller fish.
Sure.
But nothing like that. That's
must have been thick under the boat to be that way, right?
Yeah, biting.
Yeah, they're biting. Yeah, that was a good night, huh, Josh?
Yeah, I think I woke up for that.
It's like, okay. Well, let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it. How about this time we talked to John? He's called us from Escondido this morning. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. As always, fantastic show and stuff. With the Searcher, do you guys, if they ever open up Guadalupe again, would you guys go back there to do the dive trips? And how about the kayak trips?
We don't do kayak trips, and as far as Guadalupe is concerned, I doubt very seriously that reserve will ever be open again.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how sad.
Yeah, it's just, it's their choice. It's their island. It's their reserve, and they're regulating it, and they're protecting it. And so they deserve some credit for that because it's a wonderful place, and it should be protected. But it sure was a great opportunity to go there and spend time with those great white sharks. That was a fun time and very informative. And the fishing part, I don't think that regardless of the reserve and the regulations, I don't think that hook and line fisheries ever have an impact that would be a detriment to the reserve. I think that sport fishing and hook and line fishery is sustainable, and so who knows?
No effect at all. What about the shark thing? Did that have an effect on the sharks and the migratory and stuff? I mean, the shark guys?
I don't know. I don't.
So that was pretty much it was just like hook and line. It just didn't really impact the resource.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that they're just basically viewing them and taking pictures. So I don't think there was any impact on the great white shark population. Yeah.
And it's so sad to me, number one, as a fisherman, that we're not going to be able to just be at that island. And number two, to not expose people not only to the sharks but also the fishery out there, to see this resource basically wasted for nothing.
Yeah, it's a difficult topic.
Yeah.
But I equate it to think about reserves and national parks in our country. If you're a Mexican hunting outfitter and you want to get a permit to go hunt grizzly bears in Yellowstone Park, what's the answer going to be when you ask? Not only no, but heck no.
Yeah.
And so, we're protecting our natural resources, and they have the right to do that as well.
Okay, I'm going to argue that point because there's only one Guadalupe Island. There's nothing else like it in the world like Guadalupe Island. There are plenty of places you can go hunt grizzly bear outside of Yellowstone Park, but you can't go to Guadalupe Island. There's only one. And so to me, that is a shameful waste of a very rare resource.
But isn't that the reason? Isn't that the fight that Art's giving because there's the only one? I mean, trust me, I want to fish there every day. Don't get me wrong, I want to be there right this second. Like I'm not trying.
What I'm saying is, I
think that makes his point.
You can make that experience in a lot of different places. Go hunt grizzly bears in a lot of other places, but you can't experience the resource of Guadalupe Island anywhere else but Guadalupe Island.
That's true.
That's my argument.
That's a valid argument. It's just one of those things where it's their country. They choose to protect certain areas, and that's their right. So
sure.
Yeah.
I just hope it comes back around. I just hold on to the hope. I mean, it was closed before, and they chose to open it back up, and I just hope that happens again in our lifetime, and we get to experience again, because like you said, it is a really special place.
Yeah, it's a special place.
Both to get to see it and to experience it, and the type of fishing and the wildlife, everything about it. It is just really cool, and it's close to home, and it's calm in the lee. Like everything about that place is cool, and I really hope to get to do it again.
Some really good braid tangles at that place. Holy cow. Current and 20 guys in the stern, and some vivid memories of braid tangles there. Yeah,
Mike's smiling. Yeah. Great. Yeah, because the currents are so weird, and a lot of times it's a long soak, right?
Yeah, some really good ones.
I've been at some good ones there.
Yeah, that's when we all started wearing shears,
right.
instead of diagonal cutters, it was garden shears so that we could just cut that braid, no problem.
Yeah. Hey, Matt has a question. He says, "Good morning, guys. Great show. Question for the captains: do you guys see a bluefin bite on a particular tide, possibly slack or low tide? Does tide make a difference, Mike?"
No, it depends what type of fishing we're talking about here.
Bluefin, he's saying.
Yeah, but I mean, are we anchored up or drifting or, if we're out there fishing tanner or something anchored up on the bank, then just movement in some sort of direction, I think is
tide.
Yeah.
But if you're drifting, doesn't make a difference.
No, just as long as you're moving, I think. If there's no current, no wind, and you're straight up and down, or you're not drifting, then you're not getting away from the boat. And as far as bait fishing goes, so some sort of water movement always is a good thing.
Yeah. What about at night? Does like some conditions are better than others at night? What's your ideal condition for a night bite on the jigs?
No swell and 7-8 knots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just enough to get keep the things as close to straight up and down as you can. And
yeah, because when you get in that no wind, no current thing, the boat spins in circles for whatever reason. It's got momentum in one way or another. So when you stop the boat, if the boat keeps sliding or it spins, and you end up with a real big mess. So yeah.
I mean, they still can bite at that thing, but it's just all the lines are together.
For whatever reason, the best bites we have seem to be when it's like that, and it's yeah.
Maybe you should start a rotation, like take a number 1 through 5 can fish right now. Well, there's no we're sliding. Yeah,
we have a lot of the early in the year. Early in the year, we have these 2.5 day limited load trips with 18 passengers on them. So that makes a big difference. So those sell out pretty quickly. I think we still have a few spots on a couple of the early ones, but for that reason,
that's smart.
Yeah,
18 passengers.
18 passengers.
Is that a perfect load on the Searcher?
It's a good load for sure.
It's nice. Yeah. Now, as owners, you'd like to see 27 on the boat every day, but
no, I mean it's a. The guys coming out pay a little bit more, so
so that's how it is.
And a lot of them get their own cabin.
Yeah.
So it's similar to our ultra limited load, kind of trips.
The ultra limited load is 14.
Yeah.
And the 18, a couple guys will have to share cabin.
Yeah.
Big deal, right?
There's 4 staterooms or. There are bigger.
Big staterooms.
Yeah, so those few share a stateroom, and most of the guys get their own.
Yeah.
How fun.
For sure.
Let's go ahead. Another great text come through. Captain Mike, have knife jigs made all of my flat falls completely obsolete, or do they still warrant a place in my tackle box?
They're definitely not obsolete. They still bite them. Yeah.
Don't get rid of them.
No.
Okay. They still got a spot.
Yeah.
And a lot of times last year, the flat fall stuff during the day, the smaller jigs worked, right?
Yeah. Small and shiny. And it's the whole thing with the knife jigs is it's when you're drifting fast and the fish are deeper, it's all about getting down and working through the water column. The flat falls don't sink as fast. So like those times we're talking about where you're not drifting fast or whatever, those flat falls were great, for straight up and down.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including more of your phone calls and text. If you want to get through, 213-432-1090 is available right now. More Let's Talk Hookup coming for you on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Join us as we honor 76 years of Hall family shows at the Bart Hall Show, January 25th through 28th at the Long Beach Convention Center, presented by Progressive. Celebrate the passion of fishing, boating, hunting, international travel, off-road adventure, and the overland experience. Hundreds of seminars. Learn to trout fish the Eastern Sierras. Bass fishing legends from fresh and salt water will entertain you daily. Legendary anglers will celebrate our unique California offshore fleet from Point Conception to beyond the Mexican border. Learn to fly fish at the Fly Fishing Show within a show. Acres of boats, fishing boats, towboats, pontoon boats, inflatables, personal watercraft, and more. All under one roof. Make the deal of a lifetime. Enjoy the Mammoth Lakes Kids Fish Free Trout Pond, the Turner's Outdoorsman Ultimate Air Dogs, and the Convict Lake Great American Duck Races. Join CCA Cal for a special show package. Thanks to Accurate Fishing Tackle, Okuma, Bob Sands Fishing Tackle, Daiwa, and the Southern California Ford Dealers. The Bart Hall Show, January 25th through 28th at the Long Beach Convention Center. Details at hallshows.com. That's hallshows.com.
Hey, we're so lucky here in San Diego. We have fantastic weather and great fishing. We also have 3 great shops to take care of anglers. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by Johnny, is certainly one of the best. We have you covered from bay bass to big tuna. Plus, we have Doug, one of the finest reel repair guys around. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. Jeet and the guys have the best stratum reels, the hottest lures, and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, growing their stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check danalanding.com for more details.
Want to take your catch from fresh to superior grade? This is Robbie Gant from AFCO. We developed the tools for the EKGMA process. Circuit Breaker is specially designed to disable the full length of the fish's spinal cord. The memory-resistant wire of AFCO's Circuit Breaker will not bend or kink even after repeated use. Take your fish care to the next level with Circuit Breaker by AFCO. Available at a dealer near you or check out AFCO.com.
Like Robbie said, take your fish care to the next level with Circuit Breaker by AFCO. Check AFCO.com or your favorite tackle retailer.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen, for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app. Pete Gray here with Rock God Rick Maxa, Captain Art, Captain Mike, Captain Josh are here from the Searcher. And Mike, we haven't talked about all the work you just completed on the Searcher here. She looks
looking great,
she looks
man.
Beautiful.
Yeah. We just came back from Al Larson boat shop up in San Pedro where we haul the boat out every year. We got a nice paint job on the hull.
Shiny.
She looks good. You guys did a really good job.
Yeah, we're very happy how that came out. We put those new motors in last year, and everything's been running great. They're about 10 times quieter now.
Yeah.
So that's really something noticeable. It's a bit weird being up in the wheelhouse, not being able to hear them.
Not hear the engine.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing, but
better fuel economy.
Slightly. Not really.
Yeah.
Not as much as we'd hope.
Yeah.
It's not worse. So
it's not worse. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you still put prop speed on the props?
Oh, yeah.
Does that make a difference?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Think so? Yeah.
I mean, we put it on.
You put it on.
I don't know what it's like
You
without
think so,
it.
Art?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it helps.
Yeah.
Helps with the economy.
It helps with,
I don't know what it's like without it, so I couldn't tell you. But I'd say yeah. We're wrapping up some projects here. We got our annual inspection in a couple weeks, and then we're gonna go start going up and down the Baja Coast doing our natural history tours for the better part of February, March, and half April.
Do you guys do some renovations on the boat? To you take the bait tank off and
we do. Yeah.
Bait tank off and put some seats in and
put some skiffs on. Yeah,
skiffs. Yeah. So you got a lot of work to do here in the next month.
Yeah.
So about a month from now, you're going to be heading down.
Yeah. 5 weeks.
Is it possible for those who haven't been on the Searcher to come down and kind of take a look at the boat while you're doing some maintenance and pick their favorite bunk or kind of see the staterooms and stuff?
Not so much right now. Maybe when we're closer to leaving. Yeah, because there's tools and everything lying around, open hatches. It's not a. You're more than welcome to come down and check out our paint job. But
yeah, it's pretty.
We got the guys working as far as walking around the boat and looking around. Not the best time.
Yeah, gotcha.
Not a passenger-friendly environment right now.
No.
You got that fine. Hey, I want to remind you, this portion of the show is sponsored by our great friends, the Fish Pros of Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Coming soon is the all-new and easier online system to book for your processing orders for your long-range trips. Plus, with the addition of the brand-new team members, they're going to continue with that great Fisherman's Processing service, keeping you far ahead of the rest in terms of service. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com for more information.
Figured you'd bag on Marcos for not calling in. I mean, I'm surprised.
I mean, what is there to bag on? They're the second rate team over there at Seaforth.
No.
I mean, number 2 Marcos.
Oh, come on, Marcos is number 1 in our eyes over here. But
well, sure.
Yeah, but he missed this one. He missed the first report of 2024, right?
Well, Marcos.
We'll cut him some slack.
Yeah, I think.
He's got time. He's got time to call in.
Yeah, he could. He still could.
And he deserves.
And there's
a lot. He deserves day off.
There's not a lot going on.
And it has been a little choppy.
Yeah.
It's been a little choppy getting in and out of Mission Bay.
A little choppy.
It's been a little choppy getting in and out of Mission Bay. Not a ton of reports.
Yeah.
Not a ton of reports going on. A lot of boat work going on.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe,
he deserves.
Not a lot to talk about.
He deserves.
So we'll cut him slack.
Yeah, he deserves a day off.
All right. Hey, Barry in Temple City says wanted to thank Art Art for his limited loads. I went last year on one and had the best time. I was lucky enough to get another one this year, and they added another trip. Can't tell you how much fun those trips are, looking to beat my record of 110-pounder.
Nice.
Yeah, so limited load trips. Why'd you come up with those, Art?
Well, we weren't the first to do it. I think Poole started it on the Deluxe, and it was just it was something that let's try something different and give everybody their own cabin, and the existing clientele really latched onto it, and they were grateful for the space at the rail and having their own cabin, and so it was something that we started about 10 years ago, and it caught on, and they're cool trips. It's low key, and there's not a whole lot of pressure, it seems like, and so it's a great opportunity to go on a 95-foot boat with 14 people, lots and lots of room.
And there's still spots available?
There are on some of the trips, yeah.
But get on the wait list if you see a trip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like those trips as crew? Do you like those trips where there's 14 people or 18 people on the boat?
I just like when everyone enjoys it for the most part, and if they're having a good time, that's what the goal is.
Sounds super fun. Yeah. A little more money, but they're worth it a lot of times. If you
Absolutely,
Yeah, for sure. Bart Hall chimed in a little bit here this morning. It's a real treat to listen to a living legend like Art and hear him successfully pass the baton to Mike. As you know, I love to cook. I've really enjoyed having Josh talk about cooking on the boat. Has he ever thought of producing a Searcher cookbook?
Man, no. It's not for the factor that I don't want to. It's just I don't have how do I put this. That's more passion cooking than it is recipe cooking, kind of in a sense, for the most part. So if I put one together, I'd just be lying to people.
Well, Bart's a busy guy because he's got the Long Beach show coming up here just a little less than 3 weeks away. So it's coming up very quick.
I have recipes, but I'm not that conformed in that sense.
Gotcha. You kind of cook from the mind.
Yeah, I'm a free spirit kind of.
What's one thing we didn't discuss a lot is what accompanies different fish best. Like, what is the dish that you like to plate up along with the fish?
If the fish has more oil in it, it depends on how. It's variables. Yeah, Michael loves rice. I love rice.
Yeah, I love rice.
But you could get like a faux pas, mashed potatoes with fish. But I always love that sometimes with it, and a lot of times in restaurants, it's usually the fish is its own self for the most part, and then it's accompanied by a vegetable or a starch in a sense. So,
what's your favorite vegetable to bring it?
Honestly, I like greens.
Yeah.
Like
bok choy.
Bok choy is a very bok choy.
No.
But I like spinach, kale, like leafy greens for the most part. That's my
That's
jam.
What you like to cook. All right.
Yeah. And it's hot pan. White wine, and it's basically it. Some salt and pepper
to cook the greens.
The greens, yeah.
Easy, huh?
Because you want to complement the fish. The fish is the main thing.
Yeah. Do you on the Searcher? Do you serve a lot of salads? You serve a lot of soups?
Yeah, salads is for the majority of the time. I would like to serve soups, but the weather.
The weather can.
Yeah. If I could try to serve soup, it wouldn't be.
Somebody has to design a bowl that's like spill-proof on a
square
boat,
bowl.
right? Square bowl. That would be tough.
Yeah.
Gyro stabilized bowl.
Gyro stabilized bowl. Art, you're on to something here, man. For sure. All right, let's go ahead and jump back on the phones.
You
Rick.
got it, man. Everybody's excited to talk to the boys. We're going to jump back into them and talk to Arnie. He's called us from Vista this morning. Hi, Arnie. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. Happy New Year, you guys. And I just want to say it was a great 2023 for the Searcher, and I wish the best for you guys in 2024. And 2 questions. Are you planning to go to either Hall show and Art, what are you doing? You getting a lot more time on the ice playing hockey?
Oh, thanks for the question. No, I had a rough year with some shoulder issues, and So I'm not skating yet, but that's in my future. And
how soon?
Probably a couple more months.
Okay.
A couple more months of physical therapy.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing the PCS show, and that's the only one that we're going to do this year.
That's in March, beginning in March.
March
7th through the 11th at the Costa Mesa Fairgrounds.
Yeah,
Orange
that's
County
a great
Fairgrounds.
show.
That's a great show. Yeah, Bill does a nice job, and there'll be a lot of good representation. Of course, 3 great shows this year. We have the Bart Hall show coming at the end of this month in Long Beach. Then we have the Bart Hall show coming mid-February at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Nice to have that back, and then of course the PCS show coming at the beginning of March there. So a lot of good stuff coming, Arnie.
And I know the landing will be at the Bart Hall show. So if you wanted, if you needed some information, Carl will be there. If you wanted info, Searcher, that kind of stuff.
Seaforth will have a booth there, and for sure. All right. Thanks for the call, Arnie. Appreciate that very much. Ethan in Orange County here says, question: Where do most of the game fish go in the winter, like tuna and the migratory species and such? Do they go west? Do they go further south? What's the migratory pattern, do you think?
It's all about water conditions and food source. So they're following the water that they like to be in, and of course if there's a food source, then they're going to hang out there because they got to eat. So I would say that the majority of the migration as far as the yellowfin tuna and Dorado and those warmer water fish is further south, and the bluefin tuna, I think I firmly believe that that's a local stock. So from Point Conception to San Benitos and Cedros Island and offshore a couple hundred miles, I think is probably where they're hanging out. And yellowtail, they're following water conditions, and they're following current and a food source. So they could be west, south, north. It's all based on conditions.
Yeah. Still time to get through. 213-432-1090 open right now.
Had a good text come through. It says, I caught a sickle pomfret on a Searcher 3-day last year with Captain Mike. Someone also
what?
A sickle pomfret.
A sickle pomfret.
Someone also snagged a ribbon fish or similar on that trip. I'm just curious if Art and Mike could list some of the most unusual fish they've seen caught aboard the Searcher. Absolutely love fishing with Team Searcher and the crew. That's from Mike and Ramona.
Wow, a sickle. What the heck is a sickle pomfret?
Monchong, I think.
Yeah, it's like a black, kind of Jack Crevalle looking fish, but
we caught an oarfish this year.
An oarfish,
super white meat, really good.
Wow. Yeah.
Is it a jack? Is it in the jack family?
No, it's a deep water fish.
I don't think it is, but I think that's like the closest shape that would be easily identifiable. But I don't think it's a jack.
Yeah, we caught 3 this year, right? 2 or 3.
But we're starting to, you see more of that kind of stuff, with everybody fishing jigs and nighttime and deep, it's opening up. Yeah, I know there's a Escalar on the round, a couple of Escalar on the round.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy,
trips,
Yeah.
You put enough lures down in the dark and the deep, you're bound to wind up some cool stuff.
So,
but what about you, Mike? What's been some of the more odd things you've seen come over the rail of the Searcher?
Probably those 2 right there that Mike's talking about.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
Art, in all the years, what's the most unusual fish you can see?
Those oil fish are really rare.
Escalar.
Yeah. Well,
is that Escalar?
They're different, right?
An Escalar and There's an oilfish and an Escalar. They're two different fish. Yeah, but that was something that I think everybody said, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah.
When it came aboard, and we hadn't seen it before. And I think that there were multiple caught that year, but once again, it's exactly what you're talking about. We're fishing at night and we're going to depth, and there's all sorts of critters down there that we haven't come across. So yeah.
I remember fishing aboard the Searcher on one of our Let's Talk Hookup day-and-a-half trips with Bob Baker, and he caught a short-billed spearfish. Yeah, and found out
on the troll.
On the troll, yeah.
Okay.
And that's an unusual fish. I think it was during El Nino year, but you do occasionally catch those. And I remember Bob, who is such a great guy. He ate it, and it ended up when he looked, he weighed it, and it was a world record.
Bummer.
Sweet.
Yeah, but oh well. So he had it mounted. It was in his office at the Bob Baker Auto Group.
That's cool.
He was very proud of that short-billed spearfish. But and when one of the other unusual fish that come occasionally into our waters are the opa. How many opas have you seen?
You know, those are pretty rare. I can think of maybe a handful in 40 years that came aboard.
Mike, you seen them?
Never. Oh, not alive.
No?
Yeah.
What was who's the rep for Seeker that caught one on the boat though?
Yeah.
Was it Kevin or Sophie?
Sophie caught one on your.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She said she was going to catch one. She caught one that trip.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I know Steve Carson fishes with you guys all the time. He's always our go-to. Anytime somebody catches something weird that we don't know what it is, we always ask Steve. And he's always,
what is that, Steve?
He always knows.
The name.
He always knows what it is. Steve, what is this? Oh, well, that's this.
Yeah. Well, let's jump back in the phone.
That's a greater sand perch.
A greater sand.
You don't know what it is. That's
not to be confused with a lesser sand perch, right?
That's right. Well, phones are packed up. Everybody's excited to talk to the boys. We're going to talk to Jim. He's called us from National City this morning. What's up, Jim? Thanks for the call.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just wanted to say hi to Pete and Rick and Art. He's done such a great job with that boat in the past. I know that Mike must be real capable for you to pass it on to him, because I know the love you had for that boat. You and Seal, your boat. So anyway, hope great success, continued success on that boat. Real quick, too, I was on a trip where a USC grad, caught 100-plus pound Opa on the Searcher, and it was a few years back, but he caught it on a Colt Sniper. I think it was 100 and some pounds. But the question I have for you guys is, I'm a rather large guy. You touched on the staterooms a little bit. I don't know if Dart had a hand in the building of that boat, but are your bunks, it seemed like to me they were extra large, the bunks on the Searcher. Is that correct?
We have some bunks that are wide and 7 feet long up in the bow, so that, if that would be if you're booking a reservation, cabins 7, 8, or 9 and 10 are the ones that have the largest bunks on the boat, and so those would be able to accommodate you there.
Yeah, and one thing I say about the boat, the bunks, the staterooms, super comfortable. It's all, those of you who've never been aboard the Searcher, it's all stateroom accommodations. There's sinks in every room. There's several heads with showers, right?
Two heads with showers, yeah. Air conditioning. Super comfortable. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Hey, another great text come through. Hi, gents. I fished with the Searcher in 2021 and 2022. Captain Mike called depths and fathoms the first year and feet the second year. I'm still completely confused. Joking, of course. They said the crew was great. Captain Mike leads from the front. Mike, do you think we're going to see Wahoo near San Diego this year? And also, for Josh, any chance of getting an espresso machine for your bougie customers fishing nighttime bluefin? That's all from Ted in San Diego.
Oh, my gosh.
As far as Wahoo up here, it's kind of, I know there was 7, 8, 9 years ago, that last El Nino, was a bit of an anomaly, but I guess there's always...
It could happen. This is the year it could happen, man. They're talking about it. they're talking about a pretty strong push from that El Nino, but we'll see.
It's all about water conditions and water temps. Yeah.
Currents,
Just to remind everybody how hot it was that year, though.
Like pretty hot.
85 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
85 here.
It was 70 in like January and February that year. Not 63, but 7. I mean, like that was
a
hot,
very unusual.
Yeah, that was a very unusual year. Again, like you say, not to say that it couldn't happen, and hopefully it does. That was super cool, and I'd be down to see that again. But that was a very unique set of circumstances.
An anomaly, for sure.
And for the espresso, for the safety of my crew, I don't think I should have espresso.
but it's been heard on other boats that people bring their own espresso machine.
Yeah, no, we've definitely had the French presses and all that stuff. I know it might happen one day, but I know some kids that might use it too adamantly.
A little too. Yeah, especially staying up all night.
Yeah, they need to sleep.
Go to sleep. You don't need an espresso.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a $125 gift certificate to Cal's Custom Built Reels. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way in the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Get ready for the most exciting sports show of the year, the giant 14th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show, March 7th to the 10th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts taking up all 7 halls at the fairgrounds. 217,000 square feet, plus fantastic seminars and a free kids trout pond. Backed by popular demand, the PCS show also has freshwater to cover bass and trout. Learn from some of the top names in the sport fishing industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. 4 full days, Thursday, March 7th to Sunday, March 10th. The 14th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it. For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Bell every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Loan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Gamakatsu has always been the name in fish hooks, but now they're making a name in fillet knives. Custom-designed Gamakatsu fillet knives feature G-grip handles for secure grip. Built with 420 J2 stainless steel and a diamond-like carbon finish to retain the edge and resist rust. The Gamakatsu fillet knife comes in a variety of shapes and sizes and even comes with a durable sheath for protection. Gamakatsu also makes amazing everyday carry knives, too. Get Gamakatsu knives at your local tackle retailer or at gamakatsu.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. All right, it's time to find out the big winner, $125 to Cal, and Mike's going to do us the honor flipping that prize coin. All right, today we have a texter winning, so congratulations, Mike in Ramona. You have got yourself $125 to Cal's Custom Built Reels. Congratulations.
Yeah, and Kel and Eric, and Eric just texted me and said, good show, guys.
Hey, right on.
Thanks, Eric, for that donation. And here's the problem with Eric, is he's going to get addicted to that reel. When he has that reel service by Cal and Eric, he's going to want to send every one of his reels there. So
that $125 like a dirty trick.
It's kind of a dirty trick.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, thanks, Eric.
No,
we appreciate Cal and Eric and their donations to the show for sure. We appreciate you. Captain Art, what's it like throwing the reins over to these guys?
Well, it's pretty gratifying, you know. I have all the confidence in these guys. Mike has done a tremendous job, and Josh with his expertise in the galley and everything. So it's we're turning it over to a couple of really good guys that are committed, and so we're grateful that that's happening. It's a win-win situation for Celia and I and Mike and Josh. And
for sure.
They're going to continue on with the tradition and maintain that boat that's taken care of us for so long. And so we're grateful.
Yeah, for sure. And Celia's still involved. She's still running the office, right? And the booking office?
Yep, she's still answering the phone and taking reservations. And don't forget, Let's Talk Hookup, day and a half and 2-day trips.
Still spots available.
July and September. So check the website.
Searchersportfishing.com.
Yep.
Call Celia in the office. Book those trips because they'll sell out.
Yeah, they will.
And now's your opportunity to get on those. And Gamakatsu sponsors it, sends a bunch of Gamakatsu hooks. And we have AFCO sending a bunch of stuff. And Shimano sends a bunch of stuff. So giveaways are amazing. Hey, thanks, Mike and Josh. Appreciate that. Good luck with the boat. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. And thanks to Christian on the phones and the board. And thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup website, or app, excuse me. And thank you out there for all your texts, your calls, and support of Let's Talk Hookup. Tomorrow, Valerie Hoperich from Queen Charlotte Safaris will be here. That's going to be a great show. 7 to 9 a.m. right back here on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.